Do you feel like Cassie should have faced charges?
I do. I 100% feel like she should have been held more culpable than she was. I'm not saying she should go to prison. And I'm kind of being biased saying she shouldn't go to prison because she got 3 kids, because Diddy got 7 kids. You understand what I'm saying? So to use the children as an excuse why she shouldn't go to prison kind of makes me feel like I'm being unfair to him, because he has children to raise too. If he was gonna go to prison, she should have went to prison too. The woman slept with 30-something men. Come on, 30-something men is not an accident.
You read the letter that she wrote to the judge?
I heard parts of her letter, to tell you the truth, and people was like, oh, you should read her letter, but reading her letter and hearing the parts, I'm saying, excuse me, because I didn't read it, but hearing the parts I heard about her still having nightmares, and all of this, and all of the little few things I say, because I can't even say all of this, that's an expression. I heard a few things, like she said she was having nightmares and the trauma that was impacted on her life, she's gonna feel it for years. But the truth of the matter is she made the decision to undergo that trauma. I wasn't aware of the true nature of the situation. Daniel Phillip, he wasn't aware of what was really going on. Jules Theodore, he didn't know about me or Daniel Phillip. The Punisher didn't know about me, Daniel Phillip, or Jules Theodore, but you know who knew about everybody in that situation? Cassie, because Cassie was letting all of us run up in her. Some of us run up in her raw, lying to us, making us think that she was only sleeping with us and she was actually taking care of herself, when the truth is she was just a cum dumpster. And I don't want to be rude and mean by saying that, but any woman who would just randomly let strange men she's attracted to orgasm inside of her is a cum dumpster. That's what she was, and she was lying to myself and dozens of other men while she was a cum dumpster for Diddy, and she could have possibly put my life in danger. So I totally think she should be criminally liable.
And you feel like you're a victim. Explain to the people why you feel that way.
Absolutely. And people, I read the comments. I read some of your comments too. People were attacking me. Oh, he's not a victim. How can he be a victim? He took the money. And the counter argument I have to that is that Cassie took money too. Cassie was going on $500,000 shopping sprees, flying all over the world. I got a couple of $1,000s and flown to Miami. Considering the fact that I was there for days, they would lie to me and tell me I was coming for 24 hours, and they would basically keep me by keeping my phone and my clothes for days, not allowing me to leave. And then finding out that she slept with all of these men after having contracted chlamydia all of those years ago, I totally feel like I'm a victim, because I would have never had unprotected sex with this girl if I realized that she was sleeping with half of the Lakers unprotected. I wouldn't have did that. I'm not that type of guy. I had a girlfriend who will definitely testify to the fact that she never contracted an STD from me. I was always clean. So I feel that by what Cassie did, by continually lying to me for at least 5 years, making me think that she was in, I wouldn't say a committed relationship, because she and I weren't in a relationship, but I had a particular solo use that she was mindful of, respectful of, and singularly chose me. I think she victimized me by lying to me like that. And she certainly did, obviously, because the prosecution has finally admitted to the fact that I am a victim of this, even though they won't credit her with the fact that she victimized me. Diddy might have paid for this, but Diddy never physically did anything to me. Cassie physically did anything to me. So Cassie, I would say Cassie is my victimizer. Diddy just enabled her to victimize me by providing resources and money, if that makes sense.
So Cassie was hands-on. She was the one setting up the free throws.
Bro, this would have never worked if Cassie wasn't complicit. Cassie had to be in the mood to do this. And a lot of people don't talk about this. And, you know, not to jump all over the place, but this out there is for the male escorts who do see me and watch that were involved in this. You're wrong if you don't speak up and tell the truth about what happened in those rooms with Cassie. Because Cassie was never afraid in those rooms. Diddy was always conscious of Cassie's energy in the room. He would constantly ask her, babe, are you okay? He was a protector. Like, yeah, he would get violent and angry at times, but that violence and anger would be more jealousy towards us as men with his women while he wasn't around. If you listen to some of the stories, like Daniel Phillip talking about how he threw the bottle at her. He threw the bottle because Cassie didn't come when he called her. Now, Cassie was in the room with Daniel Phillip. He might have been drunk and high and thought Cassie was messing around with Daniel Phillip, because Cassie used to do that when he left the room, mess around with guys. So the domestic violence wasn't honestly because she didn't want to have sex. The domestic violence was because he's incredibly, I want to say, egotistical, and he was jealous. It's a crazy situation, man. Like, I can't personally say that I'm happy with his prison sentence, because I don't even feel like I was part of his prison sentence. Even though, again, he's in prison for sex trafficking me. I haven't heard from the U.S. Attorney's Office, I want to say since May 2nd, a week before the trial. I was supposed to go in for witness prep, but they found out about the book I wrote about Cassie, Victim or Co-Conspirator. It's available on Amazon. They found out about the book I wrote about Cassie, and now suddenly I became a problem, because if I come on the stand, the defense table is going to have things to ask me. They're going to totally expose Cassie to be a liar. So seeking to get their RICO, they thought Cassie in the domestic violence was the strongest, I want to say, avenue to use, that was going to get them their conviction. So they violated my victim rights, denied me the opportunity to confront my offender, which was Cassie and Diddy, and let Cassie go up there and lie through her teeth. Like, this was a crazy situation. This goes to show you how truly evil and dirty the U.S. Attorney's Office can be. No disrespect to them, but those are some dirty prosecutors. They play a dirty game. Like, they just totally manipulate a narrative to follow the prosecution they want. Because I remember even interviewing, like, I told them about Cassie. I said, listen, I can't sit here and tell you that Diddy did all of these things and not tell you about Cassie, because my experiences were not with Diddy. That's why, again, people came at me about the lawsuit. Oh, you know, your lawsuit only has things about Cassie in there. Not because I hate Cassie, because 90% of my contact was with Cassie. Diddy barely spoke. The man used to sit in the corner, quiet, whack off, direct her, always make sure she was good and safe. Definitely will say that. He was a protector. He was making sure Shorty was safe. You know, every time me and him always got into it, it would be more because he felt I challenged his position with her. And I'll be honest, I probably did. I was younger, I was arrogant, I was bigger than him, so I didn't really, I didn't know who he is. Remember that. I didn't know who he is the first 2 years. So I'm thinking he's some regular dude. He could get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, you get out of pocket. I don't care how much money you got. I'm gonna beat that crap out you in here. Once Daniel Phillip let me know, yo, you messing with a billionaire mogul, you better chill out. I'll be honest, I got a little shook at Diddy. My whole attitude changed towards dude. I was respectful. I never got out of pocket as far as like trying to challenge him. And I think that played a big part on the next 5 years of my relationship with him, because I became more docile when I realized who he was, as not to have a problem with him or her. And I think that's how they were able to manipulate me